Okay, so first episode of the new series we decided to start. So to give a little bit of context, this is our How We Grow series, and the idea is that there's a lot of people who are building a lot of apps and software lately, and it's really clear that building is the easy part, and marketing and actually growing a product is the hard part. And that's our job. Both Lambert and I were doing growth at Kai. We'll introduce Kai in a little bit. But essentially, our job is exactly that. The product is early stage. We're not even launched, and our job is to make sure that Kai gets seen, gets signed up, gets revenue, and grows into a unicorn. And yeah, we thought it'd be amazing if we could document everything we're doing week after week after week, so that we start building a bit of a chronicle on how we grew Kai from zero to unicorn in 1 year. We'll turn this into podcast. So Lambert, since this is the first episode, I think it would be cool if you can introduce yourself a little bit before we dive into it. So tell us a little bit about you, what you do, who you are, your background, and so on.
Yes, so my name is Lambert. I'm French. I'm 23 years old, and basically, I finished university last September, so 9 months ago. And I had a long trip in Vietnam, and then I joined Morgan first, where I was working with Jim as a growth part. So it was during like the first months, and then we had the idea to launch Kai. So I was moving to Kai and now working at 100% on Kai. And yeah, basically, it's my first job.
So I'll pick it up from here because Lambert is always super humble. Like he's always like, yeah, this is my first job, but he's had like agency on the side where he's been building websites for people for the past, what, 2, 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. I start university. It was a bit boring. I don't want to have a casual student job, so I start to create website for people.
And so yeah, we met in a previous job where he applied for an internship, and after the first interview call, I was like, yeah, I need this guy. And then he joined us, and after 3 days, I was like, this is the perfect pick. And then yeah, we both ended up leaving that company. Lambert's internship was ending, and I was changing jobs. And so when I joined this new company, I just texted Lambert again because we had been working together already in the past. It had worked super well, and so yeah, it's we're kind of a team, and we hop around companies together now, right? Like we've done quite a few projects together. Let's talk a little bit about Kai specifically. Maybe walk us through like a timeline of events from maybe earlier this year when the project idea was born, and we went from talking about it to actually starting the implementation, and then where we are today.
So let's start at the very entry point, which is the day that our CEO, David, told us, hey guys, we have to create a new product. We create a new landing page, new website, and then we start to scope what can we do for that. So the very first thing that I was working on, it was the waitlist. So how can we create a waitlist from scratch to let people sign up on Kai? And then there is many first project that we was working. So the website, obviously, which is a totally new project and totally new approach because we was working on an AI native website that changed a lot when we compare with Morgan, because Morgan we use a CMS called Webflow, and the other company I was working as an intern or for my own agency, I was working for WordPress or whatever. Always we used a CMS, and here it's the first time we didn't use like CMS. It was one of those challenge, and then yeah, starting from scratch. So that means what story we want to tell to users, what is the strategy to acquire some users on the waitlist regarding like SEO, social media. So we start also with a building public strategy, and yeah, that was the very first project. First of all, was thinking about having like those kind of SaaS that provide you everything, but it's super expensive and you cannot do what you want. And here we was like, okay, let's build a wait list from scratch. And it was also the first months that I was using those vibe coding tools, and I was not aware about the power of those tools.
Explain maybe a bit the structure of the waitlist as it is today. And for someone who launch their own website or their own SaaS and they want to do a waitlist, sense that you had, and maybe you through the hard way, that you can share with someone who's maybe right at the step of like, okay, I've got my product maybe half baked and now I need to start growing a waitlist. Yeah, what can they learn from your
Yeah,
experience?
that's a good point because I remember the first waitlist flow that we had was a bit, it was way different than today. I think we iterate maybe 5 or 6 times for the user flow in the waitlist. So today, basically, the flow is like super simple. You just put your email and then you have like your number. You can share your referral code. That's the thing. And also that's pretty much it now. But before we had like I will not say a lot of friction, but a lot of steps. Basically, the very very first one was AI call list, and first of all, it was a bit complicated to prompt it because it need to answer to the right way to your different problems that you can have, and also it was a bit a mess regarding the pricing because it cost a lot to have those kind of models. I think we was using 11 Lab, and at the end of the onboarding call that you had with Omnia, you had like a personalized report that told you, okay, regarding what you said here, you can use this tool and implement them to Omnia, which is Kai. Let's say Kai. At the end, you have like some hours free now, but it was a lot of things to implement and a lot of friction for just user who want to sign up, and that's it. So that was the very first version, and then we remove it. Don't overthink about those kind of things because here I work like 10 or 20 hours on this process, and at the end it was too much. Our final waitlist flow is super simple and you don't have those thousand of steps.
Share my screen and actually show like what's the flow that you, as Lambert was describing, the only call to action that we have now is joining the waitlist. So whenever a new user clicks join the waitlist, we recently did an iteration like literally 2 days ago. We're now offering two paths down the waitlist. The first one is skip the line call to action, where when you click, we offer the ability to book a call. This for us is super valuable, so we can start having actual feedback from customers. But back to the wait list, and that's the flow that Lambert was actually subscribing. By the way, how awesome this is that we are recording this the moment we would pass the 1,000 mark. Like, there's literally 999 people right now. The path here is basically if I put my email here, I can save my spot and join the waitlist. And then what you did, Lambert, is everything that we're seeing now as well. So there's an email that I've received in my mailbox confirming my spot and giving me some more information about Kai. There's this announcement on the left telling me what number I have. There's this link here, which is a unique link specifically for that email address that I can copy and share with my network, my friends, my family. And for every person who then joins from this link, I'll get more points and I can go up the list and secure a higher spot. And so that way I can onboard on the tool faster. And so what you try to engineer here is really can we engineer virality? Can we encourage users to share the link so they get quicker access? And I think this is something that is working. Yesterday I was checking the data, and there's like a guy who literally referred 25 classmates from, I don't know, friends of his. And so we're seeing actually people using this link and other people coming from this referral. So that's definitely something that would recommend. And the second thing you did here is, now that we have this person signed up, let's try to get a bit more information on like who they are, what they're looking for, and so on. And so you design these cards to help us get that information. So how big is your team? In this case, it's we're a team of two. What's your company website? And then we can ask some more information. And so this is really a way for us to kind of do user discovery, get more insights. And then the last little Easter egg you did was to personalize this experience and to like kind of share behind the scenes of how we're building Kai. So this is like a little card of what happened this week, and you're sharing like the progress. So now that we're seeing it on the screen, is there anything else that you wanted to maybe talk about regarding the waitlist?
No, I think it's pretty much it's the thing was really interesting. It's the David, so our CEO come 1 month earlier and asked me basically to add this little flow that you have the choice to
Yep.
put your email, how many people are in your company and why you want to try Kai. And this is very useful. I will say, for a company, because you can definitely know before that you launch the product a bit more about your potential users. And and I recommend it to implement like at the D0. I think it's very important.
So you'd build it again yourself from scratch if you were to build a new waitlist?
Yeah, definitely. I know that there is many tools that help you to do it, but it's super expensive. And yeah, as I said, the day that you want to implement new things, you cannot because you have many restrictions.
Yeah. Nice. So you started working on the wait list. We decided from the beginning to build a website and to host it ourselves. And that's because our previous product, Morgan, we actually host the website on Webflow, and we felt the friction. We felt that it was hard to go like always through the editor and so on. And more we started using Claude to do like custom HTML that we then copy and paste into Webflow. Like we started seeing the friction, and then with Kai, when we had the chance to build something from scratch, we just made the decision right away. Let's host the architecture there. What are maybe some of the things that this change of architecture and where it's hosted enabled for you? What is something that you really couldn't do or would take you weeks or months to do before? And how has that changed now with the new architecture?
I think there is many different things that are improved now because of this. For example, when you want to create a new block before on Webflow, you have, first of all, to know to have a good knowledge is about the CMS and understand what is the structure of of a website. Here, it's very good to know how work a website, but you can definitely create a new block and a new page template in 20 minutes, and this is a big win. But there is other many wins. Basically, like if you want to improve the performances of your website, this is amazing. When I was working on WordPress, you have like 2, 3, 4, 10 different plugins that answer different problems on your website, and whenever one plugin need to be updated or overall WordPress need to be updated, then you can have many bugs and many conflict between all plugins. Then you need to come back to another update, and it's a big mess. And then also you have a big problem of performances in your website because of all of these plugins. So with this setup, you never have those kind of problems. When we push a new version of the website in GitHub, you have this Google Speed Insight that's running with an API, and it will never push the website if the performances of the website is not good. And this is amazing because now we are pretty sure how website will have a good performances, but overall the website look good because you know that we was working with a designer, so we have a good design with a design system pretty clear for Claude and our native website system.
We didn't hire a designer for this. We decided that branding was something that was super important for us, and we thought invest in branding. And so we hired like a branding specialist, and the guy came up with like what colors, the mascot, and that's a story for another day. But then actually, what happened after that is we had this kind of like direction for how the brand should look like, and we created like these design files and so on in Claude. We had a first version of the website that we built without this branding guy, which I think was really decent, but we were missing like this foundation on the branding to take it to a new level. And then now we have that, and the design just really took it up a notch. Now that we have this design and so on, we can iterate on all these pages more like at scale.
Yeah, definitely. So you can, with this setup, you can optimize your website. You can create pages like with new template very easily and try different A/B tests. So that's also a good thing. Regarding the blog, it's amazing because when you want to create an article from scratch, you need to prepare the article, to read it, and then to implement it to your CMS, implement the whole images, and it can be a mess at some point. But here, the thing is pretty impressive is when we work with Claude to our AI native website, Claude have a lot of information, not only on our website, but we have a knowledge base regarding what we did, different things around, like some of our mailings, some of our internal document, and then he understands way better than me or than anyone here our product and our story, I will say. So it's very helpful when it's the time to write the article. And for the implementation also, we can implement like really easily the article. And this afternoon afternoon again, I was implementing an article, and I decided to try some tests on our blog. So basically, we implement a listen article. It's just like a play button that where you can listen the article. This is some tests that are very hard to implement basically on other website because first of all, you have two way to do it. You need to record your voice and do it, or use a model, but you will pay for it. So here we basically use the model as your in my own computer, and I run it, and it implement the audio directly on the blog, and it's super fluid, super nice. But also we can implement, like I try another test, like a little quiz for a comparative article to try to keep the users on the page and make their experience very different than other blog that you can have. Here it's a personalized experience that can show you which tool is better for you. So we can run those kind of tests really easily, and it will depend of your context, of the context of your product, of your knowledge base, and also of what every idea that you have, you can run it like basically in this one you have the voice the yeah, this one we implement the listen article, and here it's I don't remember, we use a model, but I don't remember which model, and you run the model. It will take like 20 minutes, and the output is like it's an AI with a voice that will read your full article, and the output is very impressive. If you have the time, you can try to check, but the output is very impressive. It take the good blank at the good moment. So yeah, and the other one that you can check is Author AI review, Author AI alternative. I think, yeah, this one. Basically, I implement that, and depending of all your answers, it will provide you a tool in which are not all Kai, because I it will be good for some people, but not for others. So that depends. And yeah, those kind of initiative are possible because of our setup, and yeah, this is pretty impressive.
Yeah. And that's also really good to kind of keep users on page a bit longer.
Mm,
Sends
yeah.
like a good engagement signal to Google. And then, of course, if your user land on the page, start spending, 2 to 3 minutes spending, playing with this tool, and then they read your article, maybe they listen to the audio that we saw in the previous post. Like, users end up spending, 5 to 6 minutes on the page, and
Mm,
that sends the signal to Google that this is quality content. So yeah, I think it's all like kind of a SEO playbook that independently work well, but then put together is really taking up everything up a notch. So
yeah.
that's really cool.
And yeah, I think that's all for the website. Oh, but
And for the website, maybe to wrap up on that, and then we'll jump to actually like where we are today and what's the focus and so on. But I think this is one of the best decisions we've made, right from the beginning to host
Mm,
it ourselves.
mm,
But I think you also mentioned that we kind of had to iterate on a lot of things. We had to build like
mm,
gates and tests and so on to make sure we're not breaking things. The Lighthouse, Google Speed Insights, Gates that you mentioned just now, you actually implemented it like I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago
mm,
because I was making changes on some images and I pushed a version of the website that was slower. And then as a result, you had to put this gate and basically what we're trying to build is like a self-improving system. Like every error or every mistake we make, we kind of tell Claude, please don't do that again. Like let's
mm,
try to build tests or gates so that this doesn't happen again. So it's really like a feedback loop. And we don't know what we don't know. Maybe in 6 months we'll have a way stronger website, way stronger architecture. But I think right now we already have like a lot of little gates and little things to keep things working and high performing. My question is, what are maybe 2 to 3 things or gates or tests that you'd recommend someone who's doing the same thing to put from the beginning so that they don't fuck up the website and they don't end up pushing a wrong version or a version that is worse than the previous one?
I think the first will be to create a persona because it will help a lot. And with that, when you will create an article, and this is a process that we already have, you have 20 in our website. I think we have 27 different rules that need to be let's say, okay when you push the article. And there is a lot of different things, can be SEO technical, design, also performances. The second thing is probably create a good design system, like readable for LLM for Claude, because the first version of the website, so the very old version, when we was updating a page with a different like design for a CTA or a block, it was not updating the whole website. At some point, 1 week later, you have a you have a, you can discover different website in 2 pages. Like a bit a mess.
Yeah.
So this is something also to really take care of and have a good structure in the folder to be sure that Claude will make sure that everything look good and it's not a fucking mess in the website.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I work a lot of on this website. At some point, I forget the good thing that we implement. I don't know. Maybe also regarding the different illustration or images. For example, in our website, so we have some images that are animation, but also we have some graphics, and we want to make sure that when we implement new images, Claude will directly change the format and optimize it for the website. You don't have any problems with
Yeah.
the performances. So it's overall a lot of little things that can improve your website. But yeah, there is a lot of things that we implement.
No, I think you summed it up well with the last one, because right now all we have to do is take an image and put it there, and Claude will take that image, whatever format it is, JPEG, PNG, and will do the job because it's documented somewhere and it knows how it has to be done. And this we have for everything. The good part is every time you add like a bit of a feedback loop, you reduce the work you have to do as a human and you hand it over to the AI. Right, and so there's fewer things that we need to do now. And so yeah, to recap, you mentioned the blog evals, which is like a set of rules that when we push an article, you have an AI that is really reading the article itself, and then it's measuring the quality of the articles based on a set of rules that you predefined.
The cool thing, it could be another topic for another episode, but the cool thing with this is the AI will not say maybe it's fine. It's always yes or no. Like it's a very strict rules. That's why the blog eval is at some point it can take a long time to improve your article, but it's really needed when you want quality and you just don't want random AI generated article that do not perform. So, but it can be another topic.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to cover. So yeah, I think we're covering most things about the website. Let's kind of jump until today. We have 1,000 people on the wait list. Kai is officially launching in about 4 to 5 weeks. So right now we've started onboarding users on the closed beta where we're very close to the user, getting some feedback and so on. What are you doing? Like what's the strategy from here, from the growth side? Like how do you grow the wait list? How do you bring traffic to the website? What is it that you do? What is working? What is not working?
The goal today is to make noise. That means being sure that everyone know about our waitlist. I work every day on a building public process. That means I create TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Reddit post, trying to do that every day, but it takes a lot of time. But it's so powerful because we just start Instagram 3 weeks ago and we reached 20K view, which is good. But the thing is, it's nice. We reached 20K people, but how did we make sure like 10% of them are going on the website and 2% of them joining the waitlist? And this is a thing that I need now to improve because that's nice. But yeah, also there is this short-term acquisition. I already, for example, this week work on a long-term acquisition with SEO, trying to create a strong roadmap for the next week with interesting article. But also, for example, with this series, we will create how we grow. And basically, it's our experiences about creating a product from scratch and how we market it. As Jim said, it's probably the hardest thing today, how to make sure that people use the product and know about it. And this is the challenge. So we try thousands of different things. As I said, build in public, create. But yeah, this is a bit the goal. We release the product in few weeks now. And yeah, we want to be sure that people fund the product if they need it and it's a bit hard, but it's possible, and that's what we try to do.
Yeah, it's like it's an interesting time because we've automated a lot of the things we do. Like we talked about the website now, which is like super AI native. Like it's
Mm,
all not automated, but it's all handled by AI. And I think what we've discovered over the past 3 months now, and it's also like the shift of the market is everyone is building, everyone is shipping product. Showcasing your product is the hard part. And what we're also seeing working is you mentioned, Instagram, TikTok, we're a lot more active on LinkedIn lately, you're active on Reddit. These are the only channels where we get to be human, and then they're also the ones that don't really scale. But when we're looking at the wait list and where people are coming from, these are the sources that work, right? So
mm,
it's
mm.
really, I think if I can give my 2 cents now, it's like in a sea where everyone is trying to automate everything and pushing more stuff. Like think about how you can be different. And what we found for us was like, okay, let's go back to the principles. There's some stuff we scale, the website and so on is very native. And then there's like the stuff that only us humans can do, and it's been content for us. And of course, we borrow it with AI, but it's still we're very in the loop. I think was a so far a great strategy on growing the wait list. And the next step is trying to find a more scalable way to grow that, because tomorrow we stop doing content, then it drops, and that's where SEO comes in. That's where the free tools we've been working on come in.
And this is a good point that you talk about. Being human is a bit hard, we'll say, regarding the social media, and it's super important now. And for a random example that I put like 1 or 2 months to create a video for social media. This video didn't perform a lot because it was a long video with a lot of edits. And the video that performed the most is basically the video that we just take a camera at a random moment during an hackathon or when we meet, and we are showing the story of what we do. And people love those random situation that we when we work, when we are doing some shit, and it's more the thing that working is the thing that are very spontaneous. And yeah, I think this is a good point, trying to be like just human, and don't try to overcook some things.
And so for someone who's building their own app and who's like about to launch it, or growing the waitlist and so on, would you say they have to do? We talked about social media, we talked about different platforms. Would you prioritize some of those? What about
Mm.
SEO? Like when do you think it's time to start SEO from what you've seen working at Kai?
Regarding SEO, we'll say not sure that to work on SEO D0 it's the best thing, because you have like a new domain, like basically you are working with a lot of barrier. I will say the moment that you can optimize your SEO is the moment that you start to have let's say organic backlink, because people know about your product and they will just talk about it and they will refer your product. And I think it's the best moment. Here with Kai, we start at D0 to have some article. Obviously, we don't have a lot of organic traffic, and I will say 50 or 60% of our traffic is coming from socials. So this is a good point. That means socials are working a lot. Try to be know by everyone is probably the best thing to start. You just create a video every day. And at some point, I see a lot of social media. Some guys just have start to have like users from this, because the people like the true story of a product. And when you every day post a video, even if you don't have crazy and fancy things to show, can be good.
Nice. Yeah, I think you shared a lot of good learnings. Um, what can people look forward to in terms of what's coming at Kai and in our like
Mhm.
growth initiatives? What we'll be talking about next week.
Can
Uh,
can can I spoil? That's mean.
yeah, you can spoil. You can spoil.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of things. a good idea from everywhere. So next week we release the Chrome extension. The Chrome extension is fucking amazing, to be honest, because for some reason, but I do love it. It's not because I created, but I do love it because in just one shortcut you can start to record any meetings, and this was also a tough job to do it, but now the experience is pretty good. Our Chrome extension is running locally. That means everything is private and you don't pay for anything. You have your own LLM that summarize your meeting, your own whisper model that is the model that transcribe your voice to text. So yeah, the Chrome extension will be amazing, and I believe that we will have some traffic. Again, if we have some people already using the Chrome extension, they will probably check more about Kai. Also, the mascot create a bit of curiosity about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think where we have like a lot of other things, also create a free tool 1 week ago that I released. One click directly from our website. You can transcribe a meeting for free. No login, nothing, just one click.
Like, first of all, I think it's safe to say that you've become like the free tool king. And the playbook is always the same, right? It's like, let's offer a stupid amount of value in the landing page or here in the Chrome extension. Because
Mm,
then if you offer value, you get visibility and eventually you get signups, right? And I think the free tool you've built here is like the ultimate free tool
mm,
because companies like Granola, TLDV, Fireflies, they're raising dozens of millions and they're charging 50 to 100 bucks a month for meeting transcription. And then there's someone like you who like in 3 days during a hackathon is just like, let me like make this free and just drop it on the web. And yeah, I guess next week we'll be launching that on Product Hunt. We'll see how it goes, but the goal is to really aim for the top 5, top 3 positions, get a lot of traffic, and then we will rely on the free tool to kind of spread itself because of the value it provides.
yeah, and I think, as you said, now you can do everything. So anyone can create a free tool. So the hardest part is how to create a good experience in your free tool and how to bring people in your app. This is a big topic. Also for Morgan, we create a lot of free tools. And even today, I have this topic with David. How did we make sure that people pay at the end? And how did we make sure that people have a good experience with the tool? That's the difference between one prompt tool and 1 month time creation of a tool. Because basically, when I create a free tool, I create the first version, then I iterate a couple of times, and then every time I got a feedback, I improve the tool. And these free tools have a life, are alive, and every time they are improved. And this is now we'll say the challenge, how to improve the experience and be sure that user like it.
Yeah, yeah, it's well put. I think it goes also nicely in the rest of our strategy that we discuss now. It's lead with the human on the social, right?
Mm,
Then whatever you automate with AI or whatever you build with AI, make sure it is the best experience that people will ever see because otherwise it's noise and it'll not get seen. And if you provide a good experience, make sure you have a path to conversion. And I think like
mm,
whether it's in the free tools, in the social media videos, posts we do on LinkedIn and so on, we always try to approach like this. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. Like these 3 pillars is essentially our strategy wrapped up so far.
mm,
So yeah, is there anything else you want to add?
yeah, be human.
Be a cyborg, a human AI
Yeah,
powered, AI powered human.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
But
Well,
yeah, it's mostly it. Try, yeah, I think it's really important to try to create things not just for LLM but for human, and
yeah.
that's the thing that will improve the output and improve the quality for regarding the human. Because in many topics, like you can see in like movies or whatever, when there is this thing that's not perfect, we like it also. So that's why it's very important to make something that's made for humans. And also in our content, like yeah, when we over iterate on some videos, there is no result. So yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you, Lambert. Thank you for being our guest. we will always be each other's guests. So,
Yeah.
but
So next week, I have a crazy story for you guys, and crazy question for Jim.
okay.
Stay tuned and do not forget to upvote Tuesday day with
So
Tuesday. We will be the 2 of June. So upvote on product.
we're officially locking it in, and we're launching on Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's okay. Let's go. I hope we don't find more bugs. Let's see.
I
Yeah.
hope, but I basically I'm confident.
Nice.
Yeah, I will run another version today, and then we are pretty good for
Nice.
V0.
Nice. So yeah, this was a first session of how we grow, where Lambert and I were the only two people on the growth team, but we're sharing what we're trying and what we're doing to try and turn Kai from, well, you saw 1,000 people on the waitlist to a unicorn, hopefully 52 weeks from now. And so every week we'll be chatting on growth experiments and trials we're making for growing the brand. Yeah, I think that's all. I guess this is a moment where I say, if you liked the podcast, you give it a thumb up or you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon. All right.
Arrivederci.